Welcome to another edition of Wings Weekly. Jay Klein Connect here, along with head coach Scott Langer. Coach, a big weekend here at the ODI Center against the Fairbanks Ice Dogs. Of course, Friday night, a 6-3 win, and 1-1 after the first period. And kind of a split of the second, but you guys found ways to score goals, and a pretty strong ending of that second period particularly. Ends up being, again, 6-3 overall. What did you guys think of Friday night's matchup?
Well, I mean, it was a slow start, and that was expected just based on our preparation that we had to go through there in the week and a half leading up to that. But I thought our response in the second period was great. We scored 3 goals in I think around 5 minutes, in 5 minutes. So we definitely changed the momentum of that game, and they had scored a late one there in the first period to tie it up. So I thought our response was really good, and I just thought that as the games went on this weekend, each period we just seemed to get better.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's all you can ask for, really. Second game of the weekend, Saturday, a 4-1 win. On Saturday, you had 6 different goal scorers. Depth was evident, as it often is. But again, on Saturday, 4 different goal scorers. Strong goaltending from Dominic Wasik. I mean, this close from a shutout. What do you guys think of Saturday's matchup?
Yeah, again, it was we got out to an early lead with Clay's goal, which I thought was really important, especially at home, and then it was that team played with a lot of pace against us on Saturday night. It was a track meet. It was up and down the ice, both teams up and down the ice making plays, but I thought our goaltending was really good. Dom getting his second start of the season, he did a great job. But again, timely scoring, and all 4 of our lines. We actually ran 5 lines through both games, and I thought that was real helpful from a conditioning aspect. And we were able to get scoring out of all of our lines.
Keeps coming back up, depth and how key it can be, that's for sure. Well, you talked about it. I mentioned it throughout the broadcast on multiple occasions that it felt like a track meet. It was just back and forth, and not a lot of neither team really, getting a lot extended presence in zone where you're getting a shot and bang, you're going the other way. Does that change things up for you guys at all? Or do you have to kind of make adjustments as the game goes along, or is that something you were kind of ready for?
No, I think it's just kind of how the game turned into, what it turned into. But I mean, that's certainly not the game that we want to play. I mean, we can play it for sure, but coming back from an extended break, I don't think we really want to get into a track meet against a team like Fairbanks. But there's some things with that we need to shore up this week heading into Minot for sure. We're a team that prides ourselves on not giving up a whole lot of chances and not too many opportunities against, and I think we need to refocus a little bit in that area.
Okay. Well, Chase Freiermuth starts his first game as an Aberdeen wing on Saturday night. Got a goal in his first game. What can you tell us about Chase, and what does this young man bring to the team?
Well, he's just got high-end character. He's got a great work ethic to him. Spends a lot of time on his game. Obviously, he's committed to Air Force, and takes a special person to go to academy like that and to play hockey. But Chase was a guy we went after early last year, and we locked him up, and then he had some time there in the USHL, so we were able to get him back, and he certainly adds a lot to our depth as well.
Depth once again being brought up, and as evident as ever. Penalty kill was 100% on the weekend, and it's 100% overall, folks. It's a lot of good things happening in the penalty kill, especially when you have that 5-on-3 on Saturday night. That felt like a big boost, and as we've talked about in the past, that can help. That can really boost a bench too when you're able to kill that off. Power play goes 0-5. Not a lot of chances on Friday. A handful of them on Saturday. What did you guys? Obviously, not much to complain about with the penalty kill, but overall specialty teams wise, what did you think?
Yeah, I thought it was good. On the power play part of things, I thought Fairbanks was really good on their penalty kill, and they play with a lot of energy. And again, we're used to working on that three times a week, and we weren't able to do that. So, but I thought we certainly did some good things on our power play. Obviously, our penalty kill stepped up, and again, another night where those guys sacrificed their bodies and do a great job shutting down a pretty skilled hockey team.
Yeah, skilled and quick too. I would imagine that kind of helps. It feels like anyway that. And we talked about it, I think, last week about how the structure of teams has changed over the course of time, and how, you don't have the big-bodied guys as much, a lot more speed. And as you said, as Fairbanks is skilled, how much does like the overall team speed help their kill against the power play? Because you guys had some good chances and a handful of shots on goal and so on during those power plays, but like you said, they did a good job with it. And what helps that?
Well, I mean, we certainly have to be a lot quicker in our puck touches and finding areas to break them down, but they were just real quick to pressure. You know, once we moved the puck and it was on a stick, they had a guy on us right away. So I'm sure Coach Hill will fix that this week, and we'll be ready for a high-pressure kill. And, you know, to me, a high-pressure kill is advantage to the power play. If you're doing it the right way and you're finding your guys and getting to spots, you know, when you high pressure on the penalty kill, you're taking yourself out of position quite a bit. And that might have been one of the frustrating parts of it, is we weren't having a whole lot of success when we probably should have. But again, another opportunity for us to get better this week.
It's interesting. I hadn't really thought of that, but I suppose when the high pressure can lead to mistakes and overreactions, that kind of thing, and maybe open some things up. Huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Right now, the Wings, of course, at the top of the Central Division with 16 points, 8-0. Minot is sitting in second, 6 games played, 10 points. Bismarck right now with 4 points, 7 games played. Austin with 3 points, 2 games played. The Minnesota Wilderness with 2 games played and 2 points. And St. Cloud has no points, 5 games played. Coach, have you ever started a season off 8-0?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Usually like 2-10, and then
and then it starts to turn the other way.
Then go on a little bit of a run. So it's been fun. I think the guys are playing with a lot of confidence, and it's you know, guys are learning to feel like, you know, what it should feel like when you win, and I think we can continue to ride that confidence.
Well, and it's an interesting thing. I was talking with somebody earlier this year about how this season's going to go, and to have a lead. Obviously, there's teams in this division all over the place that haven't played as many games, or you know, have some ground to make up in games that will get played. So they'll even out eventually. But to have 16 points this early in the season, it makes it tough for those guys at the bottom, kind of looking up, going, man. I mean, because usually in the Central Division, it's pretty even. You know?
Yeah. It's I guess I wouldn't want to be the team that had to make up that ground. I'd rather be in a position where we are right now. So it'll all play out. It's such a tough division, and teams beat different teams on any given night in our division. And you know, you see the effort Fairbanks gave us this weekend. It's you know, we kind of got that bullseye on our back right now, and we're going to get everybody's best game, which it's going to make us a better hockey team.
Well, and interesting that you point that out, because in Janesville swept Fairbanks, and then Austin goes in their first games of the season and ended up able to pull out some points against Janesville, and some very close games there. So, like you said, anybody can beat anybody on any given night. You got Minot coming up, as you mentioned, this weekend, and we'll talk game details here in just a little bit. But you've had a chance to see a little bit more of Minot with them having 6 games in and so on. What do they do well? What are you guys going to have to do to slow them down and to come away with some wins?
Yeah, I think they play with really good pace, and they have exceptional goaltending. I mean, their goaltender is pretty much a star every night, and he's done a great job for them, which allows their guys to be comfortable and to take some risks offensively. And I think they have some depth, and you know, it shows you know, just kind of what they've done so far. They're a good hockey team, and we're gonna have to be ready for Minot, and we're gonna have to get to their goalie. You know, their goalie is riding a lot of confidence, and it's done a great job, and we're gonna have to find a way to put some goals on them.
Well, them being idle this weekend, I'm sure they're going to be excited to play in front of their home crowd as well. Clayton Cosentino, the Central Division Star of the Week. Another big weekend for Clayton, and as we've talked about, maturity-wise, leadership-wise, he just has so much going for him right now, and as such a big part of this Aberdeen Wings team. But to see him go out and, as you mentioned, get game winners and to get the goal early and get that lead, because it's so big to start strong. Well, he's really playing well, and it kind of seems to really be embracing that captain's role.
Yeah, he's you know, he's got a ton of responsibility on the line he plays on, and I think some things that go miss is how hard he works defensively on that line, and doesn't allow a whole lot against them, and they're looked at to score goals on the other side of it. So it's for sure, he's a heck of a 200-foot player. And I said it today. I said, his work ethic is his best asset as a leader. And to watch him, come off a couple days of practice and jump in a lineup and play, 16, 17 minutes a game and to come out on top and be the player of the week. He's a special individual. And guys in this room watch the way he handles himself, and what an unbelievable young man off the ice. Just a great personality, and he handles himself like a pro. And we're very, very fortunate to have Clayton Cosentino in this locker room.
Well, and as we've talked about before, leading by example, and I've talked with Nico and Schneid's earlier this season, and they talk a lot about that too. And it is important how much, as you said, maybe he doesn't even realize how much other guys are watching what he's doing, but to lead by example like that and set a marker for other guys, maybe first-year guys, whatever. That's it's maybe a little bit underrated. All right, well, Coach, I appreciate you coming on with us here today. That's about all I've got for you, but again, thanks and best of luck against the Minotauros.
Thanks, Jay.
All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break here, and we'll return with the player coming up after this.
How you move matters. Avera Orthopedics helps you move freely and live life to the fullest with innovative treatment options customized to your bone, muscle, and joint needs. Whether you suffer from aches, breaks, tears, or dislocations, turn to the orthopedic team experienced in treating every body.
Welcome back as we continue on with Wings Weekly, and as promised, a player joining me, and this time it's Jakob Stender of Alexandria, Minnesota. Jakob, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, you bet. Well, as the player portion of these shows go, generally it's, like as I was saying, a little bit less structured and a little more, try to make it a little bit more fun and kind of informative. But you were with the Wings, played a couple of games last year. If I'm not mistaken, they were on the road. There were road games, right?
Oh, they were home games.
They were
right after Christmas. Yeah,
okay.
Home games.
Okay. I was thinking for some reason you were on the bus with us at some point, but and then played one game with St. Cloud too.
Yep.
So talk to me a little bit about the junior hockey process and how you got going from high school and on to AAA and so on, and how those decisions get made. I mean, you played for St. Cloud and then you come here, and I was immediately thought to myself, if you hadn't played here with the Wings last year and then your first time this year, what is that like? Like, what's the comparative wise? What what was it like playing for St. Cloud, for example, and then coming and playing with Aberdeen?
So I played with St. Cloud pretty early off in the season last year. I think it was October, early November. Okay. And it was a fun experience just to get a game under my belt in the junior league. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, it didn't really feel like home to me. And then I came here a couple weeks after that to practice, and then I got a tender offer and ended up coming out and playing a couple games, and it felt like home to me, and I had no second guesses. I 100% wanted to come here. So
that is a great answer, and that's exactly what I was kind of getting at, was the feel of it. 'Cause, I always feel like that too when guys go on college visits and stuff, how important it is, the atmosphere, and if it feels like you're in a strange place or if it feels like this is where I belong, so that was kind of what I was getting at with that. It's pretty cool. How'd you get started in hockey as a whole? It's not uncommon for me to hear answers from players about, them starting at 2, 3, 4 years old, but every now and then there's a curveball that somebody might throw me. When did you start skating, and what kind of got you into it?
I started skating in kindergarten. I was 5 years old, I think, and I honestly think a couple of my friends were in hockey, and I was in hockey, and I was actually, back then I was in wrestling too. My dad grew up a wrestler, so I wrestled and played hockey, and I finally was like, Dad, I don't want to wrestle, I want to play hockey. So
and broke his heart.
Broke his heart, but kind of stuck with it since then, so it's been working out pretty well, I think.
Excellent. You got any brothers and sisters or any?
I have a sister. She's a year younger than me.
Okay. She athletic or into sports, I should say.
Yeah, she used to play hockey, but she plays softball right now, so
wow. Excellent. Well, you're from Alexandria, Minnesota. I got to ask, do you know Jack Powell?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I kind of figured you had to have. But so when you get the tender and you decide you're coming to the Aberdeen Wings, is there a phone call or a text or anything that goes back and forth?
Oh yeah, I talked to Paul a lot last year. He helped me a lot, and he was like, dude, you don't want to play anywhere else in this league. And he made my decision a lot easier, and I was like, yeah, I really want to come here, and he helped me a lot, and yeah.
Excellent. Well, of course, Jack Powell, a member of our national championship team from 18-19, and had a chance to catch up with he and Brad Belisle, who are now at Bemidji State. But when I assumed hockey is a small world anyway. I mean, it just seems like everybody kind of knows everybody, or at least has been around them at some point, whether it be on the same team or maybe as opposition, whatever. But I figured there had to have been some contact there. So did he give you any insight as to the town too? Like, oh, you got to make sure and eat here. This is the best place for that. Or?
I mean, a little bit, yeah. He definitely told me that Qdoba is one of the places to go, and since in our hometown we have a Qdoba too, and it's probably the place to go there. And
yeah.
So it is nice to go there with him. So.
Right on.
Yeah.
It always helps to have a little bit of a road map, I suppose, rather than going someplace blind. If you weren't playing hockey, or you weren't a hockey player overall, what do you think you'd be doing? What do you think you'd be wanting to, like maybe career aspirations?
Man, I don't really know. I think something with like a trainer.
Yeah.
Like something to do with sports. Anything. I like sports. So.
Physical therapist kind of thing, or that. Excellent.
Somewhere along those lines.
Well, it's a good fit, that's for sure. How about a hockey highlight? What so far in your career has there been in a moment where you're just like, that was the coolest, that was the best moment of your hockey career so far?
I'd probably have to say my freshman year when I was playing with Paul actually on the high school team. We went to state and went all the way to the state championship, but ended up losing. But it was still just a great tournament to play in front of all those fans.
Well, anybody that knows hockey knows that the Minnesota State High School hockey tournament is huge.
Yeah.
Huge. And when you can fill the XL Center with the Energy Center with high school fans and stuff, it's an amazing event, that's for sure. I can only imagine making it all the way to the championship would have been certainly a memory not to be forgotten. How about hobbies? Do you golf?
Golf a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How about hunt, fish, anything like that?
Hunt a little bit, yeah. I've gone pheasant hunting a couple times out here. Got a couple pheasants with my billet dad, and I'm gonna try and go out deer hunting. I brought my bow back, but haven't gotten out yet. But
see, the Alexandria guys, Powell's all about it too.
Oh, yeah.
He has an ice shack and the whole nine back, taking the boys out, going ice fishing and stuff. Let's see. A couple of kind of off-ball questions or off-the-wall. What if you had one food that you had to eat, or you could only eat one food for an entire year? You know, you don't get it, whether breakfast, lunch, whatever, it's got to be the same thing every time for 1 year. What would it be?
I don't know. I'd probably have to say pizza. Just because you can have breakfast pizza, normal pizza. They're making like macaroni pizza, so you could have pasta in it too.
He found a loophole.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with pizza, that's for sure. How about if you could travel anywhere in the world with the snap of a fingers, just be there? Where would you go?
I'd say either New Zealand or Pittsburgh.
Okay, wait, now what? Pittsburgh or New Zealand? These are two completely different worlds. You have to explain.
New Zealand, I've just always kind of been fascinated by like just the mountains and the culture out there, and I've always wanted to shoot a stag, and they got really big stag out there. And Pittsburgh, it's always been a dream of me and my dad's to go out to Pittsburgh, and so it'd be cool to go out there with him someday.
Well, that explains it, because I'm sitting there thinking, New Zealand with the mountains and the wildlife and all this, culture and stuff, like you said, from South America, and then Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
It's okay. But that makes sense if it's something that you and your dad have in common and something that you always wanted to do. Different ends of the spectrum, though, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right. If you could have dinner with anyone throughout history, Benjamin Franklin, I mean, somebody who is historically relevant or that people would know, who do you think it would be? You can ask him any questions.
Oh, man. I don't know. This might be a boring answer, but probably Sidney Crosby, just because he's been an idol of mine since I've been a little kid. So.
Well, that's the thing about hypothetical questions. There's no such thing as a boring or bad answer. That's awesome if that's who you're going with. And I mean, who else are you going to ask? A hockey player is going to ask Sidney Crosby questions. That'd be perfect. Makes perfect sense. All right, we've got Minot coming up. Haven't really been on the road much this year yet. Anyway, 3 weeks coming up, but. Other than the one regular season game in Bismarck and then preseason prior to that. But how will you prepare for Minot throughout the course of the week and so on? A road game is a different feel, and especially in the Central Division. It is tough to win on the road, as I'm sure you've heard from vets and so on. As a team and as a player, how do you get ready for Minot?
Just got to go into practice tomorrow and just do what the coaches say, work hard every practice, just don't take any drills for granted, and just get some rest, hydrate, stay healthy, and just get ready to go on Friday because we know that they'll be coming at us, and we got to definitely show up.
That is for sure. How about bus prerequisites? What do you have to have? What's a necessity on a road trip?
I don't do much pregame on the bus or like snacks or anything, but after the game I always like to have a half and half Arnie Palmer to drink, and then also I'll bring like a protein shake that I'll have after the game.
Pillow, earbuds?
Earbuds, yeah. I should bring a pillow. I haven't been, but I definitely will have to start bringing a pillow.
I have like 16 I'm kidding, not 16, but like 4 pillows in my seat on the bus, and I can never sleep like you guys can. It drives me nuts. So pillows would definitely be one of my necessities. All right. Well, I tell you what, Jacob, I really appreciate you coming on and letting the fans out there get to know you a little bit, and about your hockey history, about just your personality a little bit. Because, like I always say, they see you on the ice, they see the shields and and everything, but they don't get a chance to to really get to know what you're all about as a person. So I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. Well, folks, as I mentioned, we're headed to Minot coming up this Friday and Saturday. Puck drop at 7:35 both nights against the Minotauros on November 20th and 21st. You can watch all the action at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Aberdeen or by logging in to hockeytv.com. The Wings return to the Odie Friday and Saturday, December 18th and 19th to host the St. Cloud Norsemen. Saturday the 19th will be the Aspire Specialty Jersey Auction, and they are some really cool looking jerseys, by the way. For more details, visit aberdeenwings.com. Corporate night sponsorships are available for home games throughout the 2020-2021 season. Call Aaron at 605-380-5852 for more information. For all the latest news and information on the Wings, visit aberdeenwings.com or follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram. And don't forget, Wings Weekly is now a podcast. Find the audio for this season's episodes on Spotify or on Stitcher Radio. All right, well, once again, Jakob Stender from Alexandria, Minnesota. Off to a great year and a big part of the defensive corps. We appreciate you coming on Wings Weekly.
Thank you.
All right, folks, that's pretty much going to wrap up this week's Wings Weekly.